Good morning, folks, and welcome to the Toyota U.S. Alpine Championships presented by Stifel. We are just 4 minutes away from the start of our men's Super G. We have the forerunners on course, testing out the slope, testing out the timing. We have 55 racers today in the men's race, which is going to start at 9 a.m. Women's race will start at 10:15, and we have 44 women on deck. But now welcoming into the finish our first forerunners. Want to say a big thank you to our partners and sponsors of the U.S. Alpine Championships. Toyota, the lead title sponsor, Stifel supporting. Also, big shout out to Ski and Snowboard Club Vail for hosting this event. It takes an incredible amount of work to pull it off, from volunteers, the staff, coaches, parents, a real community effort to host these races. Also want to thank Discover Vail, Alpine Bank, and Aragoni Woods, Lebent, all supporting the races over the next 4 days. And good morning, and we are underway with the 2026 U.S. Alpine Championships. Starting us off will be Bib 1, River Radamus on course. River Radamus is a local Vail boy, born and raised here in the Valley. He is a 3-time Youth Olympic Games gold medalist, also a multi-Olympian, and he finished off his World Cup season with a overall ranking of 10th in the giant slalom, a personal best. So River Radamus scoring points in giant slalom and Super G at the World Cup level throughout this season. He is going to be our first racer and going to be setting the pace as he's making his way down the middle portion of the course. And we should see him momentarily. Here he is on main arena. Just a couple gates to go, and across the line, River Radamus through the finish, setting the pace with a 1:08.38. How will that stand up? We're going to have bib 2 on course. Kyle Negamir from the U.S. ski team also spent a lot of his youth career here at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Kyle Negamir competed in his first Olympics this past season in Milan Cortina, also scoring across downhill and Super G on the World Cup. As we see Kyle now breaking onto the main arena section here of the course. This is where it really opens up, flattens out. The speeds are high with this course set today. It's very open, very straight. And Negamir across the line into second with a 1:08.79. So Radamus still on top by just over 0.4 of a second. Now we have bib 3, Isaiah Nelson from the U.S. ski team on course. Isaiah coming off of several podium results over at the NORAM Cup finals at Aspen Highlands. Also competing across multiple disciplines, downhill, Super G, and giant slalom. Originally from the Buck Hill Ski Club. Now we see Isaiah here on the main arena in these final few turns. He's only 0.2 off the pace right now of River Radamus. Can he reel it in? And Nelson across the line into first position, bumping River Radamus into second. Isaiah Nelson, new leader, 1:08.38. Upping the ante. Now on course, we have bib 4. This is Sam Morse, also from the U.S. ski team. He also had his Olympic debut this past season in downhill and Super G, hailing originally from the Sugarloaf Ski Club. The Moose is on the loose. And Sam Morse spending the last decade or so competing on the World Cup, as we see him now in these final few turns into the finish. And Morse into fourth position with a 1:09.21. So Isaiah Nelson hanging on to that lead, building off of that momentum he just had at the NORAM Cup finals last week. And on course, bib 5 from the U.S. ski team will be Eric Ardvison. Eric also spending his career on the downhill and Super G World Cup Tour, scoring many times over the last season. Coming back from an injury, Ardvison having a really great return season and having some strong results recently at the NORAM Cup finals, as we see Ardvison now onto the main arena section of the course, linking up some nice turns, really trying to release the ski down the hill. And Ardvison across the line into fifth position with a 1:09.43. Now on course, up top, will be bib 6, Tristan Lane. Tristan Lane from the Aspen Valley Ski Club, coming off of a second place finish at the NORAM Cup finals in downhill in Aspen Highlands. 27-year-old has been fighting his way onto the World Cup, spending a lot of his time at the Europa Cup level this past season. Tristan Lane only 0.26 off the pace, as we now see him into main arena, grabbing his bullet into these final few turns. And Tristan Lane moves into 4th position with a 1:08.98. So we have Isaiah Nelson still on top. Now, bib 7 on course. This is Bradshaw Underhill. He just finished 3rd place in the overall NORAM Cup Tour. He's a 2-time All-American for Middlebury. This past season competing for the Apex 2100 Club out of Teens, France. And Bradshaw is in the green right now by 0.8. So it's going to be a tight race now as we'll see Bradshaw entering into these final few turns. Will it be enough to take the lead? And Bradshaw across the line into 3rd position. The 1:08.64. As we take a brief hold here for some course repair. So as we review our top 3 right now, Isaiah Nelson in the lead, followed by River Radamus, and rounding out the podium currently is Bradshaw Underhill. As we've had 7 racers complete this course, we've got 55 men in today's race. And this and the race will resume here momentarily. So we had a short break to do some course repair. But up next will be bib 8 from Norway, Josbroth and Erland, skis for the University of Utah, who recently just won the NCAA championships. And bib 8 is on course. The Norwegian, known more for his technical skills, is going to try to throw down from some of these World Cup speed skiers we have in the field today, including Olympians. The upper portion of this course starts off quite steep with a jump on the 3rd gate. And the hill flattens out. A lot of gliding skills are needed here in Vail today, especially with the low snowpack. Flattens out the hill a little bit. So you really got to fight for your tuck, stay low, very soft on the edges when you can be. We should see the Norwegian here as he dives into this final main arena section, getting a little low on the line there. But now reaching for his bullet as he is going to cross the line into 8th position for the Norwegian with a 1:09.46. And up next on course, this is bib 9 from the U.S. ski team, Luke Winters. Winters known as a slalom specialist, but has been dabbling more and more in the speed disciplines and really excelling at them, as he showed his ability at the NorAm Cup Finals recently. But Luke Winters already 1.33 out as we see him making his way into the main arena section here just momentarily. He's got a lot of work to do in these final turns. You see him get really low in that section. A lot of snow coming off of those edges for Luke Winters. He is going to charge to the finish and across the line into 9th position with a 1:10.56 for Luke Winters. Up next out of the gate, bib 10. This is Patrick Kenny from the U.S. ski team. Kenny also competing in his first downhill in many, many years at the NorAm Cup Finals at Aspen Highlands, punching his way into the top 10. So he's got the need for speed, and he's only 0.25 out. So we're going to see him in just a few seconds as he comes into the main arena section. We've seen this right-footed red gate really push the athletes low. How does PK handle it? Nice execution, getting a little bit wide and squirrely here, but now he is grabbing his tuck. And Kenny across the line into 7th position with a 1.0923. And up next on course will be bib 11. This is John Kerbaugh, also representing the U.S. ski team. Kerbaugh's coming off of 2 top 15 results at the World Junior Championships, so has some momentum coming into this final series of the season. His home club, Mount Mansfield Academy, and originally from Williston, Vermont. As we're going to see Kerbaugh here into the final section. How will he handle this right footer? Nicely done, very clean on the edges. He's got some work to do. He's already a second back into these final few turns. And Kerbaugh across the line into 10th position with a 1:10.09 for John Kerbaugh. Up next out of the gate will be bib 12, Cooper Cornelius. Cornelius spent a lot of his career here at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Also skied for DU. And we'll see Cooper Cornelius here in just a moment. Must have had a little trouble on the opening portion as he's 1.15 out right now. Looks like the track conditions are still holding up well, so there's still the opportunity to punch into the top 5. Looks like Cooper Cornelius will be a DNF as he makes his way down. Be our first DNF of the day. So we have a brief course hold for more gate repair. And we will resume here in less than a minute. Up next will be bib 13 from the U.S. ski team, Sawyer Reed. We see the athletes at the peak of Golden Peak starting off today. This course offering a lot of different terrain, some very sharp rolls with the low snowpack, increasing the challenge. And now we have bib 13 on course, resuming the race. Again, this is Sawyer Reed from the U.S. ski team. As we get a glimpse of this upper portion of the course, it is steep right out of the gate. So important to carry the speed off of that steep to flat through the connector section, which we know to be a more moderate terrain section, but some rolls and humps and jumps as the athletes will come by the top of Boo Boo, as it's known. Another significant piece of terrain there. You really have to be on it top to bottom, pushing the limit, pushing the line, as we'll see Sawyer Reed here in just a few seconds entering into the main arena section. So important to execute the big left-footed delay as they come under the chairlift through the I-70 section, as it's known. And 13, Sawyer Reed will be a DNF, as he will make his way down to the finish. But we already have bib 14, Tanner Perkins on course. Perkins representing the U.S. ski team had his first World Cup start this past season at Copper Mountain. Also spent a chunk of his career skiing for the Montana State University. Originally hailing from Crested Butte, Colorado. And now we see the 24-year-old making his way onto main arena, getting a little low on the line there, grindy below the gates. But he's within a second of the lead right now as Perkins charges across the finish line into 10th place with a 1.10.03 for Tanner Perkins. And on course up top be bib 15, Bridger Guile, representing the U.S. ski team. Guile also spent a portion of his young career here at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Originally hailing from Aspen, Colorado. Highlight from his season was a second place at a Europa Cup Giant Slalom. Incredibly competitive at the Europa Cup level. And we'll see Guile now as he makes his way through main arena. He's a little over a second back as he grabs his tuck into these final few gates. And Guile across the line into 11th place with a 1:10.06 for Bridger Guile. As now we have a hold for some course repair, course slipping. All of the coaches, volunteers, and staff really trying to keep this course in tip-top condition. As we review our top three currently, leading it off is Isaiah Nelson and River Radamus in a tie for first place with a 1:08.38. And Bradshaw Underhill rounding out the podium in third right now with a 1:08.64. So we have a tie for first place. And we are going to resume here in just a moment. As we look to the top, we're going to see bib 16 in the start. This is Matthew Basson, Canadian, but skiing out of Ski and Snowboard Club Vail for the last several seasons.
You guys have
And bib 16 on, Matthew Basson on course. Basson finishing on the podium earlier this season here in Vail at the 5th Series in a giant slalom. He is from Collingwood, Ontario. As we look to see Basson here entering into the afterthought pitch, we can see this side hill section as the athletes are going to dive down afterthought. Again, set very straight, very direct down the afterthought pitch. Going to pick up a lot of speed as they come through the I-70 section underneath the chairlift. And now we're going to see Matt Basson here into the main arena section. The course really stacks up in those two turns. You really have to execute the line. And now it's about just getting on the gas all the way to the finish. So we see Basson across the line into 14th position with a 1:12.04 for the Canadian. And now pivoting up to the upper portion of the course. This is bib 17, William Erickson, also from Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. William Erickson also has had several podium results. He had a first place at the U18 Panorama Open 5th Series earlier this season. He likes the longer turns, but William Erickson will be a DNF. And bib 18, Hunshammer from Norway, will also be a DNF. As now we pivot up to bib 19. This is Jevin Palmquist, more of a slalom specialist. He's had many results on the slalom podium at NORAMs this season, and he was at 4th place at the World Junior Championships recently, just off the podium. Jevin, a really promising talent in the slalom discipline, but Gonna let it all hang out today in the longer turns in the Super G. Palmquist from Eagan, Minnesota, but skiing for Team Summit. Just up over the hill. We see Palmquist here in just a moment. These big turns coming into main arena. And Palmquist will cross the line into 14th position with a 1:11.19 for Jevin Palmquist. Following him will be bib 20 Axel Kitt, skiing for Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. He won a giant slalom race earlier on this slope in the season. We see him get really wide on the line. That just kills your speed. But Kitt is going to grab his bullet all the way to the finish. And Kitt into 16th position with a 1:12.77. Following Kitt will be Nolan Sweeney representing the U.S. ski team. He had his first World Cup start earlier this season in Alta Badia, the iconic giant slalom venue. As we see Nolan Sweeney, down on his hip, but he pulls it off, lands on his feet. He will be a DNF, but thankfully will make it to the finish under his own power. As we now pivot to bib 22. This is Jeremy Nolting from the U.S. ski team. He was just 4th place at the World Junior Championships Super G. Hailing from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club originally. He is a threat in multiple disciplines, Super G, giant slalom, and downhill being his best. We see Nolting, he's only 0.6 of a second out in these final few turns into main arena. This could be a great result for Nolting. And Nolting across the line into 8th. Punching into the top 10 for Jeremy Nolting with a 1:09.26. Great run for Jeremy Nolting. Following him will be bib 23. This is Thomas Menon from the Menon Sports Club. We see Menon now here into main arena, linking up some nice arcs. And Menon across the line into 16th position with a 1:11.73. Following him will be bib 24. This is Axel Lindemeyer. Lindemeyer having a killer season so far. He had a 2nd place finish at the World Junior Championships in the men's team combined event, and he was, as we now see Lindemeyer into the final few turns here, he's only 0.76 back. Can he punch into the top 10? And Lindemeyer into 10th position with a 1:09.46. Great move up for Lindemeyer. And on course, we have bib 25. This is Daniel Masuga. Masuga loves the speed disciplines. Super G and downhill is his forte. As we see him now, oh no! And Masuga is out. Missing the line there where it really stacks up. As the trail turns, Masuga will be a DNF as we take another brief course hold for gate repair. it looks like we are going to be back with some racing now as we look to the start. That is bib 26 in the gate, Alex Krupka from Vail, Colorado, on course representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Krupka coming off of a 5th place finish earlier at the NorAm Cup in a giant slalom. He also represented the United States at the World Junior Championships recently. He wants to thank his mom and dad for sponsoring him for all these years, and he's got a fast opening interval, only 0.26 off the pace for Krupka. It's going to be a showdown between Alex and his brother, Jimmy Krupka, also racing later today. Who's going to be the faster brother? As now we see Alex onto the afterthought pitch, diving his way down there, picking up the speed, and now underneath the chairlift in through the I-70. We see him into main arena here, getting pushed wide. That turn has proven so tricky. And Alex Krupka out of the course will be a DNF for bib 26. Up next, out of the gate, bib 27, Matthias Wilson. Wilson representing the Sugar Bowl Academy. He also represented the United States at the World Junior Championships in Narvik earlier this season. He was 7th in the Super G. As we see Wilson also having trouble there where Krupka just went out, and Wilson will be a DNF. This trail turn really providing the challenge for these athletes today. It's high speeds and really swings across the hill. You have to be so precise with your timing. The race goes on. Bib 28 on course, Fletcher Hutto. Hutto from Aspen Valley Ski Club. He's a U18 national champion. So we now see the 18-year-old making this big turn now into main arena. Manages to hang in there where we've seen so many athletes have trouble. And Hutto across the line into 19th position with a 1:12.64 for Fletcher Hutto. Up next on course will be bib 29, Adrian Beauregard. But he will be a DNF for bib 29, Adrian Beauregard. But now on course, bib 30, this is Carson Hume, representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. And Hume has spent his season chasing down all disciplines, slalom, giant slalom, Super G, small amount of downhill, but Hume really knows how to bend him. But unfortunately, Hume, bib 30, will be a DNF for Carson Hume. As we see the tricks and trials of this course as we take a preparation break. And we are going to do our unofficial top 3 flower ceremony here. So don't go anywhere, folks. We got our unofficial top 3 athletes. folks, we are going to do the flower presentation for the top 3 unofficial at the moment. And right now, rounding out the podium in 3rd place, Bradshaw Underhill, representing Apex Ski Club. And tying for 1st place, both representing the U.S. ski team, we have River Radamus and Isaiah Nelson. And congratulations to our unofficial top 3. And don't go anywhere, folks. We still have more racing to go. We've got 30 racers down out of a field of 55, and the women will be following up the men. So hang tight as we are about to resume racing here in just a few minutes. As we look to the start, we are going to resume racing. On course, this is bib 31, Jet Seymour from the United States ski team, originally hailing from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. Jet Seymour was also a NCAA champion, so he's a technical specialist for Seymour, coming off of scoring results at the World Cup level multiple times this season. 20th in Cross Kagora, 28th in Alta Badia. As he works his way up the ranks, now we see Seymour coming across the side hill as he dives into the afterthought pitch. And we see him picking up speed now through I-70. How's he going to handle this tricky right footer? And he lays it on edge. We see Seymour in these final few gates searching for some speed. And Seymour across the line into 17th position with a 1:11.54. And the racing pace is going to pick up short intervals. Now we've got bib 32 from Ski and Snowboard Club Vail on course. This is Rick Shea. And it looks like Shea will be a DNF there. We saw that little bit of a hiccup in the I-70 section. But we've got bib 33 on course. Owen Wither. Wither from the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. He wants you to know he was a U12 Skills Quest champion. So quite the accolades there for Owen Wither. So we see Wither now charging his way into the afterthought pitch. Really have to be brave and dynamic through the I-70 section and nail this big left-footed delay, as now we see Wither into main arena. Last season, he was the Colorado Ski Cup overall champion. And Wither across the line into 20th position with a 112.35. We have a brief course hold here. Gonna fix some more gates. These athletes unrelenting on the course. Now we look to the start. We've got bib 34 in the gate. This is Max Mucci. Mucci, originally from Sun Valley, now racing for the Park City ski team. The 20-year-old making his way down this course. Strong opening interval, only 0.31 back off the pace. Got to remember, these young athletes are competing against some of the best in the world with our U.S. ski team athletes here today. Athletes that have been on World Cup podiums, World Cup top 10s, and have competed in the Olympics. So quite the competition for some of these youngsters. As we see Mucci, he's about to come into our view here into main arena. This lower third section of the course proving so critical, and Mucci is out, goes down on his hip. He will be a DNF, but jumps right back up on his feet. Thankfully, he will ski down under his own power, but Max Mucci, bib 34, will be a DNF. As we move on with the race, we have bib 35, Weston Roach on course, representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Weston Roach recently won the U18 National Championships in downhill, so he has got the need for speed. He wants people to know that he is a better golfer than Ole Kohlberger. So really throwing down the challenge in other sports from skiing, as now we see Weston Roach into these final few turns. And Roach will cross the line into 21st position with a 112.38. On course, we have bib 36, Peyton Wells. Wells representing the Park City ski team. And here is Wells into main arena, keeping it clean on the edges. You have to be precise in today's race, and Wells across the line into 20th position with a 112.24. As we see Jack Schrady, bib 37 on course. Again, these intervals really picking up for the later portion of the race. Got 55 men in today's Super G. As we're going to see Schrady here shortly into main arena. No problem from him in that tricky section where we've seen so many athletes go out. And Schrady across the line into 19th position with a 111.83 for Jack Schrady. Up next, on course, bib 38, Oliver Kohlberger. Representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail from Edwards, Colorado. He also wants you to know that he's a better golfer than Weston Roach. So we really are going to have a duel between Weston Roach and Oliver Kohlberger out on the golf course. But now we've got Kohlberger into these final few turns. And Kohlberger across the line into 26th position, the 114.48. Bib 39, Florian Stantiner on course. Florian representing Team Palisades Tahoe, originally from Sugar Bowl. He's out of Truckee, California. He had a GS victory earlier this season. Been on the podium many times, scoring NORAM points this season in downhills. We see Stantiner racing towards the finish. And he's going to cross into 26th position with a 112.87 for Florian Stantiner. On course, bib 40, this is Parker Kendrick. He is from Aspen, Colorado. Now we're seeing Parker Kendrick here in the main arena section as he races across the line into 21st position for Parker Kendrick with a 112.13. Following him, bib 41, this is Tyler Howell. Howell representing the Park City Ski Team, but he is from Hood River, Oregon. He's had some podiums earlier this season, first in the Western Region Super G. So another athlete that has the need for speed. And Tyler Howell, as we see him cross the line into 23rd position. Good move up for Howell with a 112.25. Up next, bib 42, this is Matthew McDermott, representing the Aspen Valley Ski Club. Hometown, Glenwood Springs, Colorado. Big shout out to Glenwood Springs. That was also my hometown. He had a 5th place earlier this season, a giant slalom here at Vail. And McDermott across the line with a 112.58. And he will be into 26th position. But up next, we got bib 43. This is Felix Sachs. He'll be in the middle portion of the course here. We'll see him momentarily into main arena. Felix Sachs also representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Surely he's had some laps down this trail. He is from Australia. And Sachs across the line into 30th position with a 112.88. As we take a brief hold here, do some gate repair. And we are back with the racing. This is bib 44, Prince Ilano on course. Ilano representing Team Palisades Tahoe. They have a large contingent out here from Palisades. Western region. Always showing a lot of promise with the youngsters in the speed disciplines. And we'll see Ilano here just momentarily as he's going to make his way into the main arena section. And here he is, making that big right footer, light work of it. And Ilano really fighting for that bullet in these final few gates. And Ilano finishing in 23rd position with a 112.25. Great move up. Up next on course, bib 45. This is Camden Palmquist representing the U.S. ski team. Palmquist, more of a slalom specialist. He's had some strong results on the Europa Cup Tour this season with a 15th and a 17th. Really battling his way through the steps to the top. So we see Palmquist now grabbing his tuck, racing towards the line. He's not used to these long skis, but he finishes into the top 20, 19th position for Camden Palmquist. Great stuff from the slalom skier. And up next in the gate, we bib 46. This will be Nicholas Bradford representing the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. So we have a short hold again for gate repair. And we also are going to have a slip crew come down and buff this thing out for our final 10 racers. So big thanks to all the coaches and all the athletes going around to slip. It really takes a team to make this work out here today. So do not forget to go around and slip. It is mandatory. Well, and thanks to all our slippers making their way down, buffing this thing out for our final 10 racers, we're going to resume here momentarily as we've got bib 46, Nicholas Bradford on course. Bradford representing the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. No doubt, as a Colorado athlete, it's always a pleasure to race here at home in Colorado. Easy travel days, consistent snow conditions that you are used to. You see Bradford there at the first interval, 0.97 out. It's really been the lower portion of this course that has provided the challenge. As the trail turns, we've seen a lot of athletes go out in this final section entering into Main Arena. And we'll see Bradford here momentarily as he's making his way through I-70 underneath the chairlift. And now finding that right foot, getting pushed wide, but hanging in there, not giving up, fighting for the finish. Nicholas Bradford. And he will cross the line into 33rd position for Nicholas Bradford with a 1:13.30. Up next, we got bib 47. This is Henry Roberts. Roberts representing the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation from Boise, Idaho. We've got a group here of some young athletes born in 2009, first-year FIS, competing at this level. For Henry Roberts as he's racing towards the finish line. And he will cross into 34th position for Henry Roberts. Great first U.S. National Championships race for him. And up next, we got another youngster. This is going to be bib 48, Trevor Palmquist, also born in 2009 in his first year racing FIS. He's shown a lot of prowess in the technical disciplines, much like his siblings, as we see him now here in Main Arena, trying to find his tuck, find some speed in these final few gates. And Palmquist across the line into 31st position with a 1:12.81. Following him will be bib 49. This is Tucker Remond. Remond also representing the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation and another first-year FIS athlete. This will be his first time ever competing at the U.S. Alpine Championships. As we see Remond here in Main Arena getting pushed wide, but fighting for it, fighting for that tuck, trying to stay aerodynamic. And Remond across the line into 34th position with a 1:13.03. We are going to be looking at bib 15, Seth Montgomery here in just a moment. Montgomery representing Team Summit just up over the hill. It's from Frisco, Colorado, and now we see him diving into Main Arena, searching for his tuck, trying to squeeze some speed out of it in these final few gates. And Montgomery into 37th position with a 1:14.04. Following him will be bib 51, Jimmy Krupka. Jimmy, a slalom specialist, also going to give his all here in Super G. He wants everyone to know he did win a NORAM Super G one time. Not sure what year that was, what decade it was, but he has been a Super G NORAM champion. As we now see Jimmy Krupka here in these final few gates. And he is going to grab his tuck into 38th position for Jimmy Krupka. And up next will be bib 52. This is Zeke Sherman. representing the Park City ski team. And Sherman has been on the podium recently at the Sugar Bowl Tech Series. So he charges his way to the finish. A little bit of a bobble, but he makes it work. And Sherman across the line in 2:36 with a 1:13.36. Up next, just out of the start, we've got bib 53. This is Grayson Wickstrom. Wickstrom representing Team Summit. Another one coming just up and over the hills. We have a little bit of some longer intervals here to make sure these final few racers are across the line with no holds. And we'll see Wickstrom here in just a few moments as he's making his way underneath the chairlift through the I-70 section, really picking up the speed. And now we see him charging into main arena, getting a little wide, a little loose there. But now he finds his bullet, trying to squeeze every hundredth out of it that he can. And Wickstrom across the line in 241st position with a 1:15.81. And up next, out of the start, will be bib 54. This is Benny Brown. He is from Park City, Utah, but currently skis for Dartmouth. He wants you to know this is his first time skiing at Vail, and what a year for it to be your first time skiing at Vail for Benny Brown. His highlight of this season is that he was within 1 second of Dan Gillis in slalom training. So hopefully he can build off of that really phenomenal training session and find some speed here today in the Super G. So we're going to see Benny Brown. He's only 1.78. Second interval, which is really good for someone that spends a lot more of his time on the short skis. Now we've got Benny Brown in our sights. He's grabbing his tuck into these final few turns across the line into 17th position. Amazing move up for Benny Brown, starting way in the back of the pack and finishing in the top 20. Now we have our final racer on course. This is Conway Selznick. He is from Sun Valley, also born in 2009, so in his first year racing FIS, and now competing here at the U.S. Alpine Championships, competing against some of the best of the best. And we see that opening interval, 1.83 off the pace. And now he's surely making his way down the afterthought pitch. Again, set super straight, right down the fall line. You got to be brave there. Grab your chuck, grab the speed, and carry it all the way through I-70 underneath the chairlift and around this trail turn here that has proven so difficult, so challenging. But now we see Selznick, nice execution. A little wide on the line, but he's grabbing his bullet. And he is going to cross the line into 42nd position with a 1:15.15 for Conway Selznick. So that wraps up our men's race today here at the Toyota U.S. Alpine Championships presented by Stifel. Don't go anywhere. We still have the women's race that is going to start here in just a few minutes. So hang tight as we take a short break, do some coursework, course prep, and get everything buffed out and ready for the women to start here in just a few minutes. And welcome back, folks. We've got our third and final forerunner on course, so we are just minutes away from starting our Toyota U.S. Alpine Championships presented by Stifel Women's Super G. We have 44 women competing in today's race. We just saw the men come down. The women have had the opportunity to inspect and slip down the course. No doubt they've chatted with the men, gotten some insights on the course. So it'll be all about execution in this race. Highlighting our women's race today, we've got a lot of women from the Stifel U.S. ski team competing. Keely Cashman, Trisha Megan, Allison Mullen, Mary Bocock, Elizabeth Bocock, and the list goes on and on. That is just the top five of the starting list. Many of these athletes competing recently at the 2026 Winter Olympic Games and spending their whole season on the World Cup Tour. So what an opportunity for us to watch some of the best racing out here today in Vail, Colorado. Want to give a big thank you to Ski and Snowboard Club Vail for hosting this event. It takes an incredible amount of work and effort to pull this off. Big thank you to the volunteers, the parents, the athletes, the coaches, everyone pulling together to make this event happen. It has been challenging conditions, as we all know, the last few weeks with the snowpack here in Colorado. But a team effort making it happen. And we are racing. We have got bib 1 on course. This is going to be Keely Cashman from the U.S. ski team. She is from Strawberry, California. She'll be setting the pace here. She finished up the season top 15 in the world, ranked in Super G, and also competed at the Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. A highlight of her season thus far was being paired with her best friend, AJ Hurt, for the team combined in the Olympics. So keeping it fun, keeping it light, as we're going to see Keely Cashman, as she is no doubt making her way down the afterthought pitch, picking up the speed as she comes underneath the chairlift through I-70, and we'll see her in just a few moments. And here comes Cashman into main arena, linking up some turns in and out of her bullet. Getting a little wide and loose here, but she is going to race towards the line and set the pace with a 1:11.69 for Keely Cashman, throwing down. And following her on course, bib 2, this is Mary Bocock. Bocock really having a breakout season on the FIS Alpine World Cup Tour on the Super G side of things. Her best finish this season was 11th place at the Andorra World Cup Super G. She also wants you to know another highlight of her career was the 2015 U12 overall IMD winner. And bib 2 will be a DNF as we see Mary Bocock abandon the course there, getting a little hung up in the middle portion of the course. But racing resumes. We now have bib 3 on course. This is Trisha Mengen. Mengen has been competing on the World Cup Tour for about a decade now. She finished up the season ranked 30th in Super G. She is from Buffalo, New York. And she says racing at U.S. Nationals is one of the most fun weekends of the year. So positive vibes coming from Trisha Mengen, as she is only 0.19 off of Cashman, as Mengen makes her way underneath the chairlift through I-70. And now we see Mengen into main arena, getting a little bit low there, but keeping it nice and clean on the edges. She's got to release the ski. This is going to be very, very close. as Mengen across the line into second position, just 0.15 off the pace with a 1:11.84. So Keely Cashman hanging on to the lead. And up next on course, we have bib 4. This is Allison Mullen, having an incredible breakout season on the World Cup Tour. She qualified for World Cup finals in downhill. Also scored in the Super G discipline, and she is in the green now in the red. She's 0.77 off of Cashman, midpoint of the course, as we're going to see Amo, as she's known, into our sights here in just a moment. And here comes Amo. Looks like she got pushed super wide. And Allison Mullen will be a DNF as she abandons the course. Again, we've seen how tricky that section is there as the athletes come out of I-70 into main arena. Have to be prepared for that trail turn there. The race goes on. Bib 5 on course. We have Elizabeth Bocock on course. And she is in the lead by just a hair, a few hundredths ahead of Cashman at the first interval. We'll have to check the next sector. But Bocock has been competing primarily on the Giant Slalom World Cup side of things. And she has the speed skills, as we're going to see Bocock here in just a moment, also getting pushed wide as she rails the ski, and she is out of the course. Will be a DNF for Elizabeth Bocock as she also abandons. Just another victim to that trail turn there. But we'll look forward to seeing Bocock competing in the Giant Slalom later this week, as we have a brief course hold to do a little bit of gate repair. And we are going to resume here in just a few moments. Up in the start, locking in will be bib 68, Logan Gross-Didier. Certainly the word has gone up to the start to all the athletes in the course report. You got to watch out for this trail turn from the I-70 section into main arena. Swings up there, you got to be prepared. So we'll see in these next few racers if they can make that adjustment and get it in the finish. But now we have bib 6 on course. This is Logan Gross-Didier representing the U.S. ski team, originally from Wenatchee, Washington. She's coming off of a silver medal finish at the World Junior Championships in Super G from Narvik, Norway. She's also been on the NORAM podium multiple times this season, a very young talent coming up through the ranks. Strong in multiple disciplines. As we're going to see Gross-Didier, this portion of the course, she is coming down afterthought, the steep pitch, picking up speed, trying to capture as much of it. She comes through I-70 and into our sights in just a few moments. And here is Gross-Didier. She makes that a course adjustment, hangs on, and now is going to work to release the ski, try to capture some speed in these final few turns. And Gross Didier across the line into third position with a 112.34. Up next on course, this is bib 7, Caitlin Keene. Caitlin Keene from Vail, Colorado, spent all of her junior career here at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. She now represents Apex 2100. She's coming off of a third place finish at the NORAM Super G at Aspen Highlands and finished up fourth in the Super G standings at the NORAM Cup level. She's 1.51 back as we're going to see Keene into our sights here momentarily. And Keene getting pushed wide down in the soft stuff, but she hangs on. She is not giving up. She is going to fight all the way to the finish. And Caitlin Keene will cross the line. Into fourth position for Caitlin Keene with a 114.53. And up next, we've got bib 8, local gal, Mari Rennick on course. Another Ski and Snowboard Club Vail athlete. Mari's had a breakout first season at the FIS level. She won a NORAM downhill earlier this season and finished up second at the NORAM downhill standings, locking in a World Cup start position for next season. She wants to thank her parents and her sponsor, Head Skis, for supporting her on her journey. As we now see Rennick charging her way, one-arm bandit in her tuck. Rennick into these final few turns, really letting it all hang out. And Rennick across the line into fourth position, a really strong lower portion of the course with a finishing time of 113.38. Great skiing for Mari Rennick. Up next on course, this is going to be Tatum Gross Didier, bib 9. We just saw her sister earlier. Tatum also from Wenatchee, but now representing the U.S. ski team. Highlight of her season this far is a 7th at the Europa Cup Giant Slalom. And we're going to see Tatum Gross Didier here in just a couple seconds as she navigates this tricky trail turn, but makes it happen nice and clean on the edges and in her tuck nice and early. This is looking good for Tatum Gross Didier. She charges her way to the finish into fifth position with a 114.43 for Tatum Gross Didier. Up next on course, we have Bobby Jo Griffin representing Team Palisades Tahoe. She's from Sierraville, California. Griffin really a speedster, but unfortunately she is going to be a DNF somewhere on the upper portion of the course. Had a bit of trouble. So bib 10, Bobby Jo Griffin, DNF, as we'll have a brief course hold. We've got bib 11 in the start, Julia Cunningham. And we are resuming racing. Bib 11 on course. This is Julia Cunningham from Team Palisades Tahoe, hailing from Sunnyvale, California. Cunningham represented the United States earlier this season at the World Junior Championships. She was also just recently top 5 in 2 NORAM downhills, held over at Aspen Highlands. So another young woman really chasing the speed side of things. You see Cunningham, she's 2.43 out as she approaches this lower portion of the course. So she's got some work to do down here. We're going to see Cunningham into our sights. And here's Cunningham, makes light work of that trail turn, but really gets pushed wide on the right footer there. Just definitely going to impact her speed on these lower few turns. And Cunningham across the line into 7th position with a 1:15.56. Bib 12, Storm Klomhouse, will be a DNS. So now we're on to Bib 13. This is Solveig Moritz, hailing from Vail, Colorado, a ski and snowboard club Vail athlete. Some of her highlights are competing with her older sisters, Shirsti and Liv Moritz, who we'll see later this week in the technical disciplines. Solveig coming off of some strong results recently. She had a 7th place at the downhill at NORAM finals. She also wants to give a shout out to Darby Duran for being the GOAT. And it looks like Solveig Moritz will be a DNF. Unfortunately, Solveig will be a DNF. The race moves on. Now we have Bib 14 on course. This is Devin Phillips from the Aspen Valley Ski Club. She's coming off of 2 top 10s, the NORAM Super Gs, just recently at Aspen Highlands. Devin working her way back into racing after an injury last season. It's been impressive to see her trend, her rise through the ranks this season. Oh, so difficult to come back from injury, but Devin Phillips, as we're going to see her in a few moments, she's going to make this trail turn into main arena and gets pushed super, super wide. That will cost her big time. She's going to try to squeeze some speed out of it in these final few gates. And Phillips across the line into 8th position. On course, Bib 15th, Kaylee Goforth. Goforth representing the Steamboat Springs Winter Sports Club. And Kaylee Goforth making her way down the afterthought pitch, trying to grab all that speed. Course is set very straight, very direct down afterthought. And now we see her in our sights. Oh, getting pushed really, really wide. And Goforth goes out. Will be a DNF for Bib 15, Kaylee Goforth. So we are going to take a course hold here, course preparation break, get some slippers on course, buff this thing out. But as we look to our unofficial top 3 at the moment, we have Logan Gross-Didier in 3rd, Trisha Mangan in 2nd, and at the top of the heap right now, Keely Cashman in 1st place. We've only had 15 racers on course, and we've got about 30 more to go, so do not go anywhere as we take a short break. And while we're on this break, just a reminder to all the athletes, don't forget to get your gift bag over at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail Clubhouse before 12:30. So reminder to athletes, go get your swag bag over at the clubhouse before 12:30. All right, folks, and we are about to resume. We've got bib 16 in the gate. Just moments from getting underway with his U.S. Alpine Championships Women's Super G. We've got bib 16 up there. This is Maya Maxon. She is on course. Maxon skiing for Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. Hometown is Mill Valley, California. Some highlights of her season include multiple top 10s in the NORAMs, and she was also selected to represent the United States at the World Junior Championships in Narvik, Norway. And not only can this woman ski on the snow, she can ski on the water as she is headed to the World Junior Championships for water skiing in Argentina today, after today's race. So Maya Maxon has got the skills on the snow, on the water. We're going to see her momentarily as she is charging her way down Afterthought through I-70. She's 2.55 back. She's going to be looking to regain some time in this final sector. And Maxon makes a big left-footed delay into the right footer. Now she's releasing the ski, trying to find her tuck, hanging on. And Maxon across the line. And Maxon is into 8th position with a 1:15.61 for Maya Maxon. Now we're looking at bib 17. This is going to be Carolyn Ehrman on course as she now charges into our view here in Main Arena. Carolyn Ehrman representing Team Palisades Tahoe, and she is across the line into 10th position with a 1:17.65. Up next, we got Madison Von Melville, also from Team Palisades Tahoe, but originally from Lake Stevens, Washington. We're going to see Von Melville here in just a moment. She makes this trail turn, finds her tuck. And Von Melville hanging on all the way to the finish, across the line into 11th position with a 1:20.70. Up next, we have bib 19. This is Samantha Mullane. She's skiing out of Sun Valley, Idaho. She had a second place at the U18 championships recently, and whoa, she takes a wide line there into Main Arena. That trail turn is so tricky. Mullane across the line into 10th position with a 1:17.42. Up next, we got Aura Weiser. Aura Weiser skiing for Burke Mountain Academy. And we see Weiser nicely done through the trail turn. Now she's got to find her tuck, find some speed into these final few gates. And Weiser across the line into 7th position. Great move up for Aura Weiser. The speed is still out there on this course as now we look to Alaska Speedy out of the Aspen Valley Ski Club. But she is a Kiwi coming all the way up from New Zealand. Originally from the Queenstown Alpine Ski Team. She's had top 10s at NORAM downhills this season. She grabs her tuck, searching for that finish line, and Speedy across the line into 13th position with a 1:17.68. And up next, we've got bib 22. This is Elodie Olsen. Elodie Olsen skiing out of Sun Valley. Olsen was the top U18 at the U18 National Championships, and she takes a wide line there. She is fighting for it, not giving up for Elodie Olsen. And she is across the line into 14th position with a 117.77 for Elodie Olsen. And she is going to be followed by bib 23. This is Dylan Gay. Dylan Gay out of Park City ski team. And now we see Gay into main arena. Looks like she set up that trail turn. She has got the elevation. Now she's got to release the ski in these final few gates. And Gay into the finish into 11th position. Great move up for Dylan Gay with a 117.31. Now we're on to Riley Christopher. So we see Christopher grabbing her bullet nice and early here on main arena. This lower section of the course, there's a lot of speed to be had, and she is fighting for that tuck all the way to the finish. And Christopher across the line into 16th position with a 118.93. Up next, we got Rihanna Wagaman. She's skiing for Proctor, one of our few athletes from the Eastern contingent competing here at the U.S. Alpine Championships. So we see Wagaman here in main arena, linking up some nice turns, staying clean on her edges. And Wagaman across the line into 16th position with a 117.97. Up next, we have Eden DeMino. She's representing Team Summit today, just up over the mountain. She was recently competing at NORAM finals at Aspen Highlands, so she has been on the long skis as she fights for that aerodynamic position. And across the finish into 18th position for Eden DeMino with a 119.50. And they just keep coming. Now we've got bib 27. This is Bryn Hanley representing Team Palisades Tahoe. She's coming off of some really strong results recently at NORAM Cup finals. She had 2 top 15s in the Super G. And she's looking strong. She's only 2.84 back into these final few gates. Bryn Hanley into 11th position with a 116.91. Great move up for Bryn Hanley. And we've got Valerie Cross on course. She is representing Aspen Valley Ski Club. It looks like Valerie Cross, bib 28, will be a did not finish. Fortunately, an end to her day, but she makes her way down under her own power, which is always a good thing. And now we've got Annabelle Zerbay here at a ski and snowboard club Vail. Fun fact for her, she represented Team Ireland at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina. So she's had that international exposure as we see Zerbay into the final few turns here in Main Arena, here on our home slope. The hometown fans. And Zerbay across the line into 20th position with a 119.96. And next, we've got Ashley Anderson, bib 30 on course. Anderson now representing Williams College, but spent a lot of her junior career here at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. So you see Anderson charging into these final few gates. She's mostly been racing GS and slalom all season, but taking her turn on the long skis. And Anderson across the line into 19th position with a 119.09. And we are going to take a course preparation break. So don't go anywhere. We've got 14 more women to go. Are we going to do the flower ceremony Cool. And hang on, folks. We are going to do our flower ceremony here for the unofficial top 3. And presenting today's flowers, we have the Ski and Snowboard Club Vail Alpine Director Brad Wall doing the honors. And in third position, we have Logan Gross-Didier from the United States Ski Team. And in second position from the U.S. Ski Team, Trisha Mengen. And today's unofficial champion thus far from the U.S. Ski Team, Keely Cashman. And big congratulations to our unofficial top 3. Let's hear it, folks. Well, hang tight, folks. We're going to resume racing here in just a few minutes. We have got 14 more racers to go, so don't go anywhere. Yeah, that was mine.
No, you're. You want to put that one on top of here? Yeah.
Stuff.
I know. I don't quite have the reach. I can probably put it here.
And we are back with the racing. This is bib 31 on course, Lucy Worth. Worth coming out of the Jackson Hole Ski Club. She's had some great results earlier this season in the giant slalom discipline. She'll be looking to transfer some of those skills over into today's Super G. And we'll see Worth coming around the corner here in just a few moments. This section of the course has proven to be so tricky. The majority of our DNFs happening here at this trail turn. But no doubt the message has gone to the start, how to make the adjustment, how to execute, and it's up to the athletes. Now we've got Lucy Worth charging into main arena. A little bit round on the line and spots, but she is searching for the tuck, searching for the speed. And Worth across the line into 21st position with a 1:19.73 for Lucy Worth. Bib 32, Samara Boyer will be a DNF. Exiting out on the upper part of the course. So we have a brief course hold here to repair some of the gates. But resuming here shortly. And bib 33 on course. This is going to be Ruthie DeMino representing Team Summit. We saw her sister earlier in today's race. Ruthie's highlight of this season thus far was a third-place finish in the Aspen FIS Super G. And we're going to see DeMino here in just a few moments as she's going to navigate this tricky section. Right now she's coming down the afterthought pitch, picking up a boatload of speed. Now she's got to carry it around this corner, this trail turn that has been so tricky for the athletes. And here we have DeMino into main arena. Looking to tip it up clean. Search for her tuck in this final gate. And DeMino across the line into 24th position, 1.2278. Up next, we got bib 34. This is Ella Dre representing Ski and Snowboard Club Vail, but also skiing for Mexico. She recently represented Mexico at the Junior World Championships in Narvik, Norway. Getting that international exposure as we see Ella Dre here. In these final few gates. And Dre across the line into 24th position with a 1:21.66. Next on course, bib 35. This is Lila Dennis. She is representing Team Palisades Tahoe. They have a large contingent out here. These athletes loving the speed disciplines. So we see Dennis charging towards the finish line, and Dennis into 24th position with a 1:21.03. And up next, bib 36. This is Isabel Clark-Heinrich. She's coming off of a 6th place at the women's downhill in Sugarloaf, Maine. She's skiing for Proctor Academy. And Dennis, whoa, close call there at the finish, but she makes it happen. Excuse me, this is Heinrich, and she is across the line into 24th position with a 1:20.83. Scary moment for her in that final gate, but she pulls it off. Up next, we got bib 37. Ava Huey. Huey skiing for the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation. She makes a nice right-footed foot turn there, and now grabbing her tuck, searching for speed all the way to the finish. And Huey across the line into 27th position with a 1:21.90. And up next, bib 38. This is Shay Armistead. Skiing at a ski and snowboard club, Vail, hometown, Minturn, Colorado. She is a triplet. And now we've got Armistead in our sights in these final few gates. Coming off of 2 personal PBs, and Armistead across the line into 28th position with a 1:22.17. As we have a brief hold here for gate repair. Going to resume here in just a moment. And we are underway. Bib 39, Josephine Howe, is on course. Up the upper portion of the course, making her way through the connector. She is from the Crystal Mountain Alpine Club, hailing from Seattle, Washington. And she is the only Pacific Northwest Division racer representing at U.S. Nationals. So making the effort to come out here all the way to the U.S. Alpine Championships. She's had a lot of top 10 results this season. The Western Region Junior Champ, she was 2nd in the overall. And Howe charging her way down afterthought, trying to capture some speed in those open turns. So we're going to see Howe momentarily. She's coming underneath the chairlift through I-70. Comes into our sights. Howe into main arena, getting pushed a little bit wide. But fighting her way to the finish, looking for aerodynamics. And Howe into 30th position with a 1:23.22 for Josephine Howe. Following her will be bib 40, Bree Brandreth. Another Team Palisades Tahoe athlete. We see her now into main arena, getting tossed around a little bit. But she is fighting to keep the hands inside the body, looking for aerodynamics. Brandreth across the line into 26th position with a 1:21.52. So good move up for her. And up next, we've got Lexi Dennis on course. Another Team Palisades Tahoe athlete. She's looking speedy as she comes into main arena, finding her tuck, working that ski and nice and clean on the edges. And Dennis will cross the line into 23rd position. Great move up for Lexi Dennis. Just in her first year of racing FIS, born in 2009. We've got a lot of youngsters here starting in the latter part of the day. And now here's bib 42. This is Elliot Leahy. From Sun Valley. And we're just in our final 3 athletes. Final 3 racers as we extend to longer start intervals, making sure everyone gets down the no start stop. And we're going to see Leahy here in just a moment. She is coming through I-70 underneath the chairlift. And she will be a DNF for bib 42. A DNF for Elliot Leahy. So we're on a course hold to do some gate repair, get things cleaned up for our final 2 racers. Don't go anywhere. And we are going to resume racing here in just about 1 minute. We've got 2 racers left. And bib 43 is on course, Mackenzie Cross, as we resume racing with our final 2 racers in today's U.S. Alpine Championships. We've had some of the best here competing today. Many of our U.S. ski team athletes traveling out here to compete at these nationals that have been representing our country all season on the World Cup Tour and at the Olympics. And we have lots of promising junior races here over this weekend and into next week. Because now we're looking at Mackenzie Cross into Main Arena as she makes her challenge towards the finish line. And Cross will come across the line into 32nd position with a 1:22.86. And our final racer on course, bib 44. This is Brighton Hamilton. Team Palisades Tahoe athlete. Certainly she's gotten the course report from her many teammates out here today on how to go out and charge down this course. In bib 44, Brighton Hamilton will be a DNF as she abandons the course midway down. So that wraps up our women's Super G today and wraps up our racing here at the Toyota U.S. Alpine Championships presented by Stifel for today. But don't worry, there are 3 more days of racing ahead of us. We have got men's giant slalom on deck tomorrow, Sunday. Women's giant slalom on deck for Monday, and both genders racing slalom on Tuesday. So 3 more days of exciting racing to come where we are getting to watch some of the best in the world of U.S. ski team athletes and some of our best, most promising juniors coming up, charging through the ranks. And don't go anywhere because we have awards at the SSCV Clubhouse at 11:45. So 11:45 awards at the clubhouse. Be there to cheer on our champions from today's race. Thanks for coming on and supporting these athletes, supporting these young people in their pursuit of success. And big thanks to our sponsors, Toyota, Stifel, Visa, Kappa, all supporting our U.S. ski team, supporting these championships. And also big thank you to our local supporters and sponsors. We've got the Discover Vail, Alpine Bank, Aragoni Woods, and Lebent. And let's not forget Ski and Snowboard Club Vail for hosting this event and all of their support and work going into this. And we will see you tomorrow for the men's giant slalom.